Indeed.
I will be
It is
skipping this.
called.
Okay. Right. Names. Now, a lot of people will try something that is usually quite easy, going for a knight class or some such. I want to change it up a bit. I might go for a cleric. So it's a good cleric name. Sam. No, let's be serious now. Nah. Let me see. Because I hope to get 4 of them. Right. Old because I'm a decrepit bastard. Cleric. Now, as I said, I will not be doing any rings, so I won't have a life ring. Let's go for something else. Stalls, no point in that. Not going to be leveling. I'm not going to be looking for too many drops. I might try and keep the mace. I actually quite like that as a weapon. I know a lot of people would say the fire gem, because it's got some good early game benefits. Because I'm not going to be coming back to filing very often, I might have the black fire bombs so that I can get the titanite chunk, so I can get the weapon upgrades when possible. It's probably the best option I can think of. Probably going to be using the fire bombs against this boss as well. Lack of lock-on will be an issue, but we will sort it. Okay, I look thoroughly crusty as is, but thankfully, because I won't be leveling, I'm not going to take the gift from Yol, so I'm going to look at this handsome forever. Build, let's have a look. Something I can go with. I want this character to look just as pathetic as he will be, so I have no meat on him whatsoever. Such a weird skin colour. You know what? It might be the one time I'll choose that one door shadow of death. They are just some mean looking mothers. Alright. I'm sure none of you want to watch this, but this will be done quickly. Yeah, that thick hair. Why not? No, you're not going to be muscular. Tiny head, tiny chest. Small one. I don't know. Perspective, there we go. Good. Let's have something that doesn't look like I've been rubbed in something. Some of that, but with a few changes. Whoa, good God, this changed. Fucking purple in a blink of a heart. Okay, vaguely normal? I don't know if you'd agree. Right. Does it go green when you do that? It's ridiculous. Not there. Okay, don't look ridiculous. It's fine. I failed to see how these are similar faces. That's not too bad. brow game, as if it wasn't already. Right, beady-eyed little bugger. Actually, you know what? Snooty bugger. Why not? Bit of a sneer going if we can. Do something about that stupid chin. God, they look terrible. I love it. Right, let's sort that out. Yep, there we go. Just look absolutely bloody awful. Love it. Just so stand out. How is that in any way red? A ginger we shall be, for it is the only way. It's hard to get a decent ginger here. Fine, that'll do. Perfect. I've already done that. Why not? No. Yeah, you know what? Stupid comedy brows. Old man Jeffries. No, actually, you know what? Head here first. So they stand out a bit more. Weird thing with the beards where they're always a lighter colour. Can you even see them? So you can. Oh, it's just freak. Why not? Okay. Yeah, small eyes. And you'll be that'll do. Brown as the day you're born. What? Ooh. just looks stupid. Why does it go green? This game, I don't understand it. Right. No, not cool enough for tattoos. As you can see, I've got some wonderful favourites here. Yeah, you know what? It's got to be done. Because, you know, just got out of the office. Right. Are we sure this is what we want to do, Steve? Let's do this. Let's just wait for the game to kick us in. Whenever it decides it's a good time. I always get chills on this bit. Now, excuse me if I talk some lore on this, but this is always like a big part of when I first picked it up. Rising from the Grave is something that I don't think is said too much in any of the other Souls games. The whole cycle of life and death, the fact that we've died for long enough to be buried. I don't know, obviously these are intended graves. It's not mentioned whether anyone cares or not, if we are dead or alive. They thought enough to bury us quite close to the surface. Not so much can be said for all these other unfortunates. But, that is the world of the souls, I guess. Right, so, first things first. Let's get this looking how it should. Now this, unequip straight away. I want to do this properly, just so you all know. And this is all being done properly now. Because I'm not going to be using shields, I have no purpose for it. And I don't want to be accused of using it when I'm off camera. So, I'm going to show you now. Discarding it. It's now gone forever. Nothing I can do about that. Right. Secondly, chime in the main hand. Why? Why would you? Not doing well. So, first thing I'm going to do, not locking it. As you can tell, I will probably be doing that. So, it's a bit stupid. Not a good start, but hey, I'm cleric, I can afford it. Right, I will set everything else up in just a second. Just make sure I got to grips with this. I haven't been on today, so... And to clarify, it's not my first time through. Obviously, it doesn't look that way currently. Got my ass kicked by the first guy. Whatever. But, yeah, I think I've completed the game about 4 times now, so there's no surprise in this. This is just going to be a challenge. Now, I'll go even further. No auto-locking, no auto-targeting, manual attack aiming. I think that's fairly standard. Don't think there should be any issue with that. Now, the important part off. This is gonna suck. But here we go. Yeah, I think everything else... you know what? Why not? There we go. No, matchmaking on. If people are going to invade me, they're going to invade me. Not much I can do about that. So, here we go. Now, I have to get used to that. I will take penalties as described if I do. Now, why is the HUD... Ah, here we are. annoying. I didn't realise it did that. Right. Well, unless I'm standing still. Getting used to that. I was under the impression that you could turn the HUD off permanently. Time for you now. Oh, hi. Oh. Right, that's it. The hard thing's gonna be keeping. Ah, missing shot. Should have thought this before. Problem being, this is a lot harder. Not actually that hard. Times where you like, yeah, okay, that probably should have hit me. I want to take credit for that. Okay, one Estus used, but pretty sure I can still defeat good old Udix. That's 18 minutes really. I suppose the character creation, that does count a bit. Now I know well there's streamers and YouTubers do like a whole episode almost just on character creation. Now I will light the bonfires. I won't be using them. So my only respite will be death. Yep. Come sooner than planned. Now, I'm not going to be this crap forever. Considering this is my first no-lock run playthrough. Actually, that's what I did a no-lock on playthrough of Dark Souls 1. I did not get far. PvP is not fun to look on, as you can probably well imagine. Now, I'm sure there's probably lots of people, but quite accustomed to it. I know quite a few people that don't play with it in general. Like I say, if I were any good at this, this wouldn't be a challenge. Right, I'm gonna have to learn not to do that. Now, by all means, feel free to spin me out whenever I mess up. Did he fall off? Okay, that's fine. I don't mind that. Now what I was hoping for, I noticed you could turn the HUD off, so didn't realise it would be actually there still. My intention was to make it so that I couldn't actually tell here it goes, how much health I had or how many Estus I had left. It would be more of a challenge, but this will be a challenge in itself, I'm sure, not being able to see exactly all the time. what it is. So he hits. No. Now I know a lot of people fight him and obviously have a lot more trouble. I think I've just fought him enough times now. That's just how it is, so I totally understand how he's a challenge. He's pretty nasty when you first start. And yeah, he clocked me once there. Shouldn't really have allowed that. I'll make up for that as we go on. As I'm not doing Estus upgrades, I'm going to have to learn how that works soon enough. Obviously, for that I'm going to be using a little cheeky iframe things, kind of thing. Anything that will help. As I'm not going to be using rings in this either, so as you can tell this will probably be quite an issue. Now, apologies for wherever I do lock on, I'll make sure to lock off as soon as possible. I've just got myself into a habit of it after many years of Souls gaming. We will sort that. If required, I will. When did it take him to fall? Jesus. I will make sure to employ penalties if I break any of the rules. So, if anyone wants to suggest anything, I'm more than happy to live up to my mistakes. And oh my god, I was so not looking forward to the Sword Master. Backstabs may be an issue as well. Again, another thing I'll sort in time. Now, I've got a particularly positive outcome to this in mind. If this dog's got anything to say about it, maybe as such. Forget how weak they are at the start here. In the later NGs, they hit you for just loads of damage, so I'm used to that. Actually quite forgiving at the start here, considering. I know a lot of people would probably refute that, but I know out of all the Souls beginnings, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's the easiest, but it's definitely not too bad. Starts off one, you know, once you know what you're doing on that, it's fine. I know a lot of the elements in that are all drop attacks at the start, cover most of it, and pretty much does it for you. But I like to think that the amount of people struggled on this is probably as much, even if, you know, they're a regular Souls player, as they struggled on DS1. It still holds a special place in my heart, so if I comment on that a lot and big that up, as great as this game is, there's not a lot that compares to my first experience with that. I hope a lot of you would agree. And yeah, it's, I don't know, it's great to play this, knowing that. Being up, this is going to be fun. I'm going to produce the sword first. I'd rather spawn there than back at Udex, but personal preference, call it what you want. But yeah, I know a lot of people absolutely adore DS2. DS2 is great. I will admit, I've not actually fully completed it yet, or at least not the Scholar version, of which I have to play and which I'll probably stream as well. I know, compared to this, Scholar just it's the next stage, which I'm looking forward to. Now I'm not going to skip
Welcome
through
to
this
the prime of fire. I tend to the flame. The lords have left that to this end.
I know what people say, because
Ashen One sovereign. I will show
everything
Ashen
out of
One.
the dialogue really.
Farewell,
I'm
I
not
may
going
the
to level up with
flame.
her, so that's probably the last time we're going to be speaking to her. I might give her the eyes though, so we'll see what happens there.
I am weapon.
Supposed to
I've
make yours
lots
as well.
of and yes, I'm
She
undead
fits.
too. Ashen one, as is I
I like the links to PS2 in this game. I know Miyazaki didn't have anything to do with that, but I like that it's there. I like what's brought in. I'm guessing the dev team were the ones that actually had a place with that. And yeah, I think that they did a good homage to it in this, and the elements that they have brought through, they enrich it. Even like those tiny little elements of Bloodborne you can see peeking through. I adore Bloodborne. Bloodborne's a fantastic game. One of the best things they ever did, in my opinion. I'll just get one of them for now. And oh yeah. Anything else? I'm going to want to level up as well, but I'm going to grab a cheeky ember, because as I'm running through areas, if I'm not already embered, I'm not going to be using my Estus, so I've got those 3, and that's what's going to carry me through. I'll have that 1 Ashen, being Cleric, that will count extra, rely on a Divine Blessing if I have it, or an Ember even, if necessary. We're probably talking the
Ashen,
likes of
bring me
Nameless
with.
King,
Is it
where I'm
not?
going to be using that really. I haven't decided yet
Ashen
whether
one.
I'm going to be using the what's it, the Storm Ruler for the Yorm fight. So it's a ridiculous notion anyway to attack him without that. You just do such little damage against him. But I guess I want to give it a shot. Why not? We'll see if we can take him down without it. You may see me do 2 or 3 streams. You know, do actually manage that, if not more.
Ah, well, you're not just making an inhabit,
Yeah,
don't you think?
I think this collapse emotes
What a
lot
spectacle.
more often, basically. It will not go well, but let's hope it goes. I'll give it a shot. And yeah, if I do it, it'll be great. If not, then I guess we just keep going. Go back to Aldrich or something. Not sure what order I'm going to do them in. I will be doing all the optional bosses as well. Forgive my wandering at the moment, just trying to remember who's here and who's not. But yeah, I'm not going to be pushing the storyline too hard. I will do everything, not in order, but pretty much as would be expected. Yes, I am going to make use of this exploit as well, but not for anything ridiculous. I know that there's not much you can get ridiculous at this point. But yeah, I just want to make sure I've got a few pieces of Titanite and such, because my trips back to find the shrine after this point are going to be very... okay, no, sorry. Really, love that. Yeah, my trips back and such are going to be varied, literally only on the boss. That's the first time I've ever done that first time. Don't tell anyone I said that. That I think, you know, the more I can get here and now, the better. So, I'll grab that Estus shard. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to need it. Yes, you pickle bee, you bumper rum. Of all the things that they chose to put down, honestly. But yeah, there we are. Bumper rum, bumper rum. My bumper rum indeed. Yeah, of all the things they've chosen to say, at least you had some direction on the previous crows. These, just the innocuousness of that is ridiculous. I love it, but it seems a little insane to me. It gave you sort of a guide on what you would be expected to give them. This, yeah, I guess, you know, it adds an extra depth of power to it that, you know, you're not supposed to know. Of course, no shields, so discarding that. And yeah, right, so that's everything here. A lot of you are probably going to be cursing me for the fact that I'm not picking it up. As you'll see in my description, I'm doing this with no Estus upgrades, so what I've got is what I've got. That guy isn't going to like me, I'm not going to like him. But yeah, if there's anything you want to know, no locking. I will get used to that. But yeah, if there's anything you want to know, anything you want to hear, talk to me about it, put it in the comments. I'm more than happy to have other people joining in. This is going to be interesting. Okay, so still not doing great. I may cheese the crap out of him. Alright. Shut up. I need my health. Ah, that was good. Okay, first death, Swordmaster. Not too worried. Come out with first, and we'll kick him. So, not a big deal. I think he's probably one of the few things I don't mind dying to at the start. I know he's absolutely fine if you can parry him or give him a stun lock go around. Ah, dear, I didn't rest it bonfire. See, I thought that would do it. Just producing it. Apparently you have to rest it. Didn't know that. But the more you know. Now this is actually going to be a bit of a pain to keep souls. And I could get back to it at any point, but not being able to get back to some areas may be problematic at some point, as I'm sure you'll know. You know what? I don't know why I didn't try this before. Yeah, that's it, pace the other way. Okay, this is totally cheating him, but eats it. And just like that, he's got me on the ropes again. Typical. Right, try that again. I have technique. Obviously, because I'm going to be doing this the hard way. You'll forgive me if I cheese him a little. Forgive me as well. My leg's gone to sleep. Just get that awake again. Yeah. Now, I was wondering what exactly he was doing outside of Final Shrine. I mean, everybody else inside, they're all passive. Everybody outside, you know, they're actually hollow. You know, they've completely lost their minds. And Swordmaster's different. I mean, he doesn't act like a hollow. I know people like Horus, etc., you know, they can show up, they've gone hollow, and they will attack you. Just, you know, pure principle almost. So I guess that's what happens. You know, Anri, when you come across them, apologies if this is any game-breaking information for me, but yeah, you know, there are things they go hollow, they attack you. Now, you can summon him after this. Now, you've obviously not killed him, because you can summon him, so this isn't really him. He's definitely undead. I mean, how many other... See, it's such... Oh, well, that's terribly this time. Why did I take someone to go up that time? But yeah, you know, obviously he's undead like the rest of us. But that's it. His range is insane. That's fine. We can handle that. Yeah, he doesn't come back anywhere. He doesn't appear as a friendly. You know, he's once he's dead, he's gone. Except when you can summon him. So, you know, I guess it's maybe a roving master thing. Maybe he insists that you beat him to earn his respect or something. I mean, everyone in this place has got a different agenda. I know once you fight awkward, you know, he's undead as well, I'm guessing. Yeah, he's definitely an unkindled Ash. When you defeat him later on, I mean, obviously you're not defeating him for good. I know he gives up on the idea of going after you again. You know, he thinks you've committed yourself as a true dragon and all that, but, you know, he's got a clear agenda, whereas Swordmaster, it's undefined what his idea is. Really? No idea. I mean, you know, the standard thing would be he's here to test you. Wow, forgot about that. That's one hit. But yeah, it's unclear what his notions are, what his agenda is. It's curious, you know. You get his gear and his weapon after you kill him. Is he wandering off naked? You know, but I mean, it's potentially the case that he's a different Swordmaster. I mean, the one that you encounter when you summon him, at least. You can tell from the health damage he gives upon himself that he's using the Chaos Blade, so, I mean, this one, using the Uchigatana. Are there two Swordmasters? You know, there's nothing to say there isn't. It would be assumed that this one would be the same as the other one. Maybe you get this weapon, and his method of giving you this weapon is to allow you to take it from him. Now, you're saying to yourself, if he's this bad against the Swordmaster, how's he going to fare against the bosses? Well, I can't answer that. We'll just have to wait and see. I might just give it up entirely against him, but I don't think I'll do that. Like I say, I want to play this game through, and that's a complete run. I'll try not to skip anything, apart from dialogue, really. If there's anything you want to know, you can read it up. I don't have no real interest. I've read it through, know the lore, as far as anyone knows it. And the main point of this is just the challenge of it. Like I say, I enjoy the lore aspect. I think the whole element of this broken dialogue and what is being told isn't always there in full, you know, it's an appealing prospect. Well, a mystery as such. Trixie. And I screwed myself. Let's try that again. Alright. Now a lot of this is going to be about timing. That was not the right timing. Am I actually dragging him this far? Yep, I am actually going on. Welcome to Dark Souls, bitches. I guess he's the biggest welcome you can have. But, like I say, these will not be the only deaths I have, I assure you. If anything, the clear run of Udix is probably the most fortunate thing that's happened so far. I say clear run, obviously I did take a hit there, but you know, yeah, it is what it is. Bonus type, Souls aggressive. For whatever purpose they may be. I mean, you know, I've not pulled any other restrictions on myself just yet. Just trying to think of anything else that might be interesting for you guys to watch. At this point, I think, you know, I probably noticed everything I can that I could try and make different to make it harder. Yeah, but, you know, there's a lot to the game. Lack of locking, as you can tell. I'm not doing great with that at the moment. I wish I could speed this up for you guys so you didn't have to watch this, but yeah, I think obviously I'll get better at this as it goes on, and the lack of locking will become less of an issue. It's one of those things. You know, you get so used to it, and you've kind of got that tether between you and the enemy, and you can work out timings a lot better. How much of a distance you can jump away, that kind of thing, what kind of rolling you can do to get around them. It all gets a little bit easier without locking, but without that, I think that's a big part of what I thought would make this a little bit more special, and a little bit more dangerous as such. To avoid in the future. We can escape that. There we go, finally. Son of a bitch. Right. Now, obviously weapon parts on this. Now, I quite enjoy this mace. It's a nice weapon. And, I mean, a lot of you may like things with like a longer range, that kind of thing. To be honest, Perseverance, nice. You know, this game's lack of poise, and pretty much everything else that you can get off of it. Whether they ever put poise back into the game, who knows? I don't think it matters anymore, you know. Whilst it would be nice, I think we've all just about learned to deal with it and compensate for it. I mean, I think if they do add it in, it becomes such a massively different game. And, yeah, you know, it will pretty pretty much changed at least the PvP side of things quite heavily.
Well, how may I?
Things like that will just have such a massive effect. I mean, for one, you know, element of it, you know, do I? Yeah, probably. You know, as a major element of that, that will be sort of a big undertaking, but a big change. You know, shields might become useful again. Who knows? Like I say, shields, they're just a way to get killed. It's one of the first things I picked up on in Dark Souls. They are just another way you can die. You know, you block the attacks. Somebody hits you with a strong enough attack, your guard breaks.
Ashen one.
That's it. You know, you learn the hard way. You get taken down.
Well, I am. You're toilsome. I am a...
Those front stabs, that's an added element to this game. I can't say I hated anything more at the start. Yeah, I'm not going to be summoning in for anyone. I won't be having any summons either, so everything will be solo. Nameless King included, which, FYI, even on my high level characters, I've never done the Nameless King without a summon, so yeah, that is going to be interesting. Now, I will have to deal with weapon degradation as well. Now, the ideal element is that I get everything done and get through an area, defeat the boss before a weapon breaks, but I think it's going to be a very real element not using the bonfires that I might have to deal with some weapon breakage, so that again may all be something I'll have to deal with.
Prithee, be careful. I don't want that.
But yeah, I've wasted enough of all of your time so far, watching me suck and fail so hard at this as it is, so here we are, this long rest. Before I go, a Bloodleth. I don't think I'm going to be using any boss weapons, but we'll probably give him transposing Keln directly after the boss fight, so yes, he will be the bosses. So yeah, after each boss I'll get an opportunity to get a boss weapon. Again, don't think I'll be using them, but hey, talk to me if you want, people. I will be happy to drop you any boss weapons. You know, this character is probably not going to be able to use an awful amount of them. No leveling. It's going to be an issue. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's going to be an issue. But where there is a will, there is a way. We will persevere. So I'm noticing there's just no difference in them. But the reason I purchased the talisman is I know they have a different effect on them. So the weapon art, I believe it's general health recovery, but whatever helps, helps. So actually no, sorry, Chimes got that, my bad. I think they have the increased poise, but again, it'll be something that I may well make use of. So right, before I go anywhere, I'm just going to sort this out. No longer need that. Equipping embers because I'm not using them. Toolbar needs no sorting because I've got all of that used, and that is good. Now, no rings, like I say. If people really want me to do it naked, you know, at this point it's going to be, sure, why not, really. I don't think there's anything that's going to make it much worse, but, you know, I thought a little bit of accessory playing might be nice. Yeah, you know, it's got a little bit extra resistance. I can use it. Right, so along the road we go to Eyewall of Lothric. Can't believe I'm gonna have to fight Fort without lock on. Dodging his attacks is going to be an issue, but we persevere as we always do. Yeah, if you want me to give my impression on anything, you know, more than happy to talk about any lore aspects that we have on show here. You know what? I think one of my hands looks strangely hollow. I think it's going to be difficult to tell whether or not I just look crap or old or hollow. I mean, gross, look at those arms. I think I should still be in the grave. Looks like I'm wearing eyeshadow as well. Really shouldn't have done that. Oh. It's going to look tired and depressed. Steve Harris. Right, so I'm going to light this. Yeah, I think, as I was saying, I'm hoping to get a raw gem or something. I know that's time like lizard does that one. Oh, how about that? Raw gem's been given away. And obviously the time chance himself. Now, I know, obviously going to worry about tuning spells. Now, I'll do that after a boss. So I'll run the level with whatever spells I've got equipped. Available to me. Leveling, but I'll use whatever I can get. Pyromancies, etc. I don't see that there's a problem with adding in some pyromancies if necessary. There's going to be a lot of pushing up against the enemy and hit quickly. I will attempt to get as many of the items as I can as well. I mean, if anyone is watching is in any way interested in knowing where any item locations are, that kind of thing, I'm more than happy to run through to it. I'm pretty sure, I mean I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure I've got on one sort of every weapon, armor piece, ring, you name it. Also, I mean, obviously you can check my achievements and stuff just to find out, but just going to get the formal battle gesture. I just have never summoned in Hazel for that Abyss Watchers fight, so I'll be getting that shortly. I'll be looking for that platinum, and I won't have the one with all the rings currently, because I usually play with a friend of mine who I'll use his online name of Ezekiel, who you have everyone with Hamsters or Ram Havoc as he's sometimes known as channel. Zeke is a good friend of his as well, and an excellent gamer, but I did give him my Dark Moon Covenant ring on one particular early on, to start with, and just, you know, push through what you think will work. Yes, we'll be fighting this Mimic, not for the axe, but for the souls. Okay, very interesting. Okay, but yeah, we overleveled one of his characters actually, and bring back, and that will be that achievement. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that is everything. obviously, I think I haven't actually managed to get it in any game, but I'd like it on Dark Souls 3 because it is just it's become a very dear game to me. I quite enjoy it. I think it accounts for a lot to say, you know, yeah. Did what needed to be done. That pattern was right, some people, you know, they don't care. I mean, I'm not sure I should care about the whole platinum thing, but yeah, it's nice to see a new profile, especially if it's, you know, something that doesn't have a ridiculous limit of, you know, what the platinum. It's vaguely feasible. You know, you can obviously understand if you've got to play something through to completion, everything, which I think what's good about the trophy system on Dark Souls 3 actually, there's no, you know, go behind a wall for 3 minutes and pray to a statue that you didn't know was there, that kind of annoying weirdness. It is pretty simple. I mean, obviously aside from the game that... Oh, there we go. Those elements of the game that, you know, the hidden achievements, you don't know they're there. You know, I can see pretty much for this game, all the trophies and everything, there is a way of getting to all of them. There's a way that they can be done, and nothing too obscure. I mean, even with the stuff like and you know, there's the illusory ones, but I think the community's done a good job. You know, I think the first people on the scene were the first to get the real magic. Finding those there. I mean, the messages in the game, they do a great job of, you know, showing everything to everyone, and, you know, I think it's a really nice element of the game, but I think at the same time, you know, just being able to be told all the it's not spoilers, it's magic. It's something that I enjoyed about running your own Chalice dungeon in Bloodborne, that when you found an illusory wall, it felt like a real thing. You know, you set up your own one, you share that with the community, and yeah, you know, I ran through that. I set up a few, taken through to completion, and set them as open, left them for people to wander in and find, and you know, it just felt like I was doing a good thing, leaving the messages for whichever person stumbled through next. Especially if there was something nice, like you know, some of those weapon variations, like the Lost and I can't remember what the other one was, the Lost and Change or something. Variations, or Uncommon or something. But the two variations of the weapons that you could get as well, that had the different blood gem slots. I know that overall, as a way of adapting weapons and whatnot, I like that take that through to completion, really. Placed on you to be good at it was the usual sort of weapon, not the weapon itself. Idiot. Yes. struggling with him so much. Actually, this is a bit different because I did first I learned to parry them, but you know, I think most stuff like Bloodborne did have that element of parrying, which was nice to rank. Difficult to pull off an effective pistol attack, but I think since the time of Dark Souls 1, the whole parrying riposte system, in some ways in Dark Souls 3 it's become, there's a massive onus on it. There is a big sort of perspective, you know, you've got basically 3 ways to backstab someone really, which, you know, it gives you more vulnerable spots. You know, you've got that parry, you've got the front stab now, and obviously you've got the elements of the you know, the standard backstab as well. Yeah, that puts you in a bit more of a vulnerable position. I know it's something that you can do, but it's going to through the skills really. And you know, I think it's just another be careful situation. You know, it's me being a dumbass, obviously. Yeah, it's a, you know, a nice little element of, I don't know, that artificial difficulty. I know that's something that you shouldn't really ever say about these things, because it comes down to the player of the game quite often. You know, I think has been really bad for the quote-unquote cheesy items and the cheesy weapons and stuff. There's a lot of exploits that have been pulled off very early on in this, you know, before DLC, before patches, and you know, I know that Dark Souls has been recently nerfed, and I didn't really want to try, but I can't really see how much they would nerf. That was just, it was overpowered. There's no 2 ways of looking at that. Oh, got Estus back. There we go. There was, I think, a lot of people got burnt out about it, and a lot of people like, I'll just deal with it. And yeah, you know, can't complain too much. As ridiculous as it was that the Dark Sword was able to do as much damage as it could, create as much stagger on you as it could, and have the crazy sort of that, you know, you're pretty much guaranteed to have to get hit for a certain amount. Idiot. Should have dodged that. It's just one of those things, but yeah, it's hopefully something, you know, you can roll out a bit better this time. I haven't really been the receiver of Dark Sword hits. I mean, I did wonder about the legitimacy of the Dark Sword sort of cheesiness at first. I really didn't rate it as a weapon when I first started playing with it, but I think yeah, it's really annoying. Just to be sort of continuously getting it. Not much to do about it. So, pretty high damage. Incredible stack. Obviously, that's related to the issue with it says reduced its efficiency, so maybe it took its damage down, but the speed at which it hits you, because it's remarkably quick. I mean, it doesn't look it, but it really is. A lot of these short swords, I mean, I'd clearly argue that the short swords are some of the best weapons in the game, really. You know, the long swords and anything that's not really a great sword. I think that the great sword really is one of the most, of course, yeah, one of the most underscaled categories. Really, you don't get a lot of good great swords. You get a lot of good ultra great swords. You know, they have that super heavy, really slow, clunky movement thing going on, but it's totally offset. I mean, everything that you can do with them, the damage, you know, and especially the range on some of those things is crazy. Like that fumed ultra great sword, that's the range on that thing, mind-boggling. It's, you know, one of those things that you deal with in PvP. I guess Some things feel a bit more cheesy than others. Yes, I'm going to let you. Yeah, the great swords, I just think they're just not a great source of weapons, and I think for that reason, I think they're actually one of my favourite classes of weapon, because there's not a lot about great swords that really makes them overpowered. So, I don't know, the kills, they feel a lot more legitimate. They just feel a little bit more like you've actually earned them. Missed it. You know, I think the two weapon arts that you get with them as well, for the most part, the stance and the stomp. Love it. I genuinely love it. Really nice element. Some of the things that you can do with it, it really helps you play with the hitboxes a lot. Yeah, it helps you play with it properly. You get a real sense of, like, you can really run into the enemy, use the sideward stroke. I do a fair bit of that on the PvP that I've done in the past. You know, I don't see a lot of people doing it, which is, I don't know, I guess, not to sound like a hipster, but I guess it's kind of why I like it in a way. It's, you know, you're not using a one-handed sword, doing that slashy motion that takes advantage of the lack of poise and just keeps you locked into it, allowing for that good rush damage before then the inevitable sort of roll out of it. So yeah, it's an element that I enjoy, having the sort of, you know, knowledge that you're not intentionally cheesing, you're not doing anything that you think would give you an easy kill. It's, you know, it's this really. I'm trying to get some nice part for the sake of making it a bit harder, a little bit extra challenge. Kill this time. Yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of things are the same. I see a lot of people using, you know, decent, like, real weapons, ones that, you know, I hate to call it cheesy almost, because I know that, you know, they're putting there for a reason. If they weren't there, you know, then, you know, they're there to be used, essentially. And that, you know, probably just by spite from being killed by a storm, but I don't know, some things feel easier than others, especially if it's someone who can't do something that, you know, you can just spam R1 and things die. It's great. I think the difficulty that's put in the game, no, it's legit. You can have weapons that help you out, stuff that you can just repeatedly hit R1. Probably not making a great case for myself, because it's pretty much all I'm doing. There's a tiny place from that too, people. But yeah, I think it's, you know, a good thing, gets more people into the game. Again, that's probably another thing I'll talk about at some point. But yeah, it's the popularity of this game, being what it is, has led me and probably a lot of you to the conclusion that I think we have this big community, this real big base of people that came into it from probably a lot of other different things, you know, which is nice, you know. The Souls community is never a bad thing. A new demographic of player introduces new opportunities for player expansion and growth. And there you have it there. And you've had me. Ready to do that. Sorry, I'll go quiet at points while I'm concentrating. Lack of more time is actually more of a glitch than it looks. You know what? I'm going to have to practice a lot more than this. One thing about Bloodborne I will say, yeah, the coding on that was so crap. They could stab through any wall to get to you, but you could stab them back as well. That's very much reduced with this. I think, you know, that as much as enemies can stab you through a wall, you can stab them. Yeah, not really. It's just... hello, beastie. Not unfair. This game's unfair. I think fairness doesn't even come into it. You know, you're not playing fair with you. You don't walk into this. Oh yeah, it's going to give me a fair chance to kill it. You know, it's like that. It's very Japanese mentality, which I enjoy. I think it's probably half of what's to do with the prevalence of the bullet launcher. I'm sure probably quite a few of you must be aware of that. But yeah, just that means they love just getting in a, you know, whatever it may be, like a tiny little spaceship and just dodging about 6 billion bullets flying at them. You know, skill. Why not? It's for them to say at the end of the day, yeah, I did that, I did this, and at the end of the day, you know, if you can go and dodge that many bullets and walk away to tell the tale, fair play to you. I think that's half what Miyazaki's probably grown up with, and I mean, you know, he's seen this whole medieval culture and whatnot, wants something that will fit in with it. You know, I think it did start obviously, and you can see it. I've not played it, but I kind of want to. I think it's one of those things that I never had the PS2 and I know PS3 either. It's just so hard when you can't look on. This guy's hard when you can't. Yeah, I think it's just an element of what's brought into their culture and brought back into our culture through this. And I think this guy is such a... You know, the technique with him is not to roll around him. So, yeah, it's usually to encircle him from behind. However, I haven't had it. Oh, he can climb ladders. First time I've seen that. Well, okay. No, not running away because I'm scared, but, well, I'm scared. Oh, and the wingman stepped down. Kind of happy about that. Oh, stick it. What the hell? Whoa. Okay, that's pretty ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, I've probably had about a million broken thoughts in trains so far, so apologies if you want to know anything more, just let me know if there's something I've jumped onto that you want to hear more about. I'm not saying anyway any of it, but I enjoy at least thinking about why these things might be there, and why it might here's where I die again. Go. How did I not die? In those few moments you're like, right, what did I just do? Do it with an ember or do I just die? There we go. Oh, at least once. There we go. That. Oh my god, that's difficult to get away from. Yeah, but yeah, just let me know. I mean, I like to think of reasons why these things might be the way they are and try and work out how they came to be. I mean, you know, I'm sure it's all there in the credits and the thanks the dev team and Miyazaki himself put there. And, you know, I think there's a lot to be said on, you know, looking at what inspired you to create something and following through, you know, going the distance and actually creating a game that people enjoy. It's one of the hardest games. And I think that in itself is, like I was saying previously, the community and people that have come across. I think there's a lot of factors. I mean, this has been marketed heavily as a game. I remember adverts from Dark Souls 2 when it was out. You know, I never saw any adverts on TV for this, but anyone who knew it was, you know, they knew it was an unspoken sort of, you know, like previous thing at all. You know, that big reveal. A lot of YouTubers, you know, I think this is a really nice plan one day. I know some absolutely fantastic YouTubers, you know, not personally, obviously, apart from, I've spoken to one, like I said, Estus Upgrades will come up, great chap, fantastic gamer from everything I can see, you know, everything just, I've seen of these YouTubers, even, you know, ones who have started up, PewDiePie's and Markiplier's and everyone in between, you know, the whole calibre, I think, because they're built on such a uniquely absorbing something that everybody can kind of relate with, no matter what you're playing. You could play, you know, God forbid, phone games or something. I think that, you know, it's legitimate. Not loving anyway, so it's not an issue. Yeah, I think it's nice. Everyone's got a different perspective on the games. I think everyone's got sort of a shared element of sort of intrigue or a liking for what they do. There's a new perspective in everyone. I mean, I'd never rule out any gamer, no matter what level of, you know, gaming ability per se they have. You know, like that thing anyway. You know, people who are fantastic at one game may just suck balls at others. It just that's what happens, and you get, you know, you like people like that who they can say things. Like that. Like, you know what? I'm gonna just absolutely destroy everything on this game because I said so. But yeah, you know, it's a nice element, and like I say, you know, I genuinely don't believe in it too much. It's enjoy these games, so you know, if they enjoy something, I get a feeling that they'll be more likely to be good at it and know it better. I'm probably a terrible example right now because, you know, I would genuinely say I love the Souls games. And, well, see yourself not doing so great so far. But, you know, I would say it'd be a different case if it was, you know, a regular game. You asked me to prove that by all means, you know, I'm more than happy to show you. Not that I think it's necessary, you know, I'm not saying I'm by any means good at this game. I can complete it, but then, you know, pretty much everyone can. It's not a thing anyway. I think I'd like to get around to it at some point. But yeah, I think people's gaming ability doesn't rack up to how much they enjoy games in general, and how good of a gamer they are. Whether that's something that you worry about, you know, if someone isn't particularly good at PvP or PvP, that's for a variety of reasons. That's not because that person isn't very good. You know, I would quite happily say, you know what, I'm not picking it up. I'm not picking shields. Habit. Yeah, I'd quite happily say that, you know, people, they see something different. Wow. Like Bloodborne dogs, seriously. Has anyone else noticed that? Like, I think they're programmed exactly the same. Like, they're just like, yeah, you know, that's great. But, you know, nice to start. But yeah, I think that, you know, there's nothing to say that there's not any merit in someone. I think some people, you know, especially with the current Souls community, I kind of despair a little bit because I know that some people try really hard and people bring out these quite unquote weapons and things that are just, they're not enjoyable. I think the people who use them know, and I think there is a way. I mean, I was probably going to say before I started, but you know, for as quite cheesy as the Dark Souls, I think that there are ways of dealing with pretty much everything. It's remarkably easy, as are most of the light whippy weapons to parry. It's quite an easy to parry weapon. In as much time as you're given to actually be able to parry it, of course. Which for a lot of people, PvP, you know, you're working with limited health anyway. If you're doing not wow, this time that. You know, if you have the ability to, I mean, I'm happy to upload a video I did. I actually had a nice little honourable duel with a couple of people a little while back. One of the first I've had in a while. It's been a lot less of a prevalence of the whole honour duels thing, which I guess it's a little pretentious, of course, but you know, I'm sure most people would agree it's a nice thing to see. And yeah, I realised how close to the hole I was then. You know, this is a fantasy game at the end of the day, and you know, the whole night rituals thing, it fits into the thematic element of it. It's a fantasy game for a lot of people, and you know, maybe not so much this one, but Dark Souls 1, and, you know, even to an extent, I know a lot of people, I think, you know, they did the joy of I know Miyazaki not being a part of it's a big thing for a lot of people, and, you know, that is a little bit aspect, in fairness, because a lot of magic, you know, comes from what he's written. I'm sure from the dev team's perspective and everyone else that's involved that, you know, they must be sick of hearing the whole, Miyazaki, that's so fantastic, you know. He does these amazing things, he writes these amazing things, and they, you know, no one's saying that anyone else there does just as much effort and have just as much input, I'm sure. One man can't be connected the game, you know, he's owed a lot for the idea, not necessarily the creation though. A lot of that comes down to, you know, this dev team. I think they, without Miyazaki obviously for 2, did a fantastic job with the source material that they had. And, you know, it's not an easy thing to do. Carrying out a franchise without actually be successful. Because, I mean, yeah, DS2 was successful. The campaigns and everything to do with it. I mean, whether that was kind of over-marketed, a lot of people, I speak to a guy, I used to speak to a guy who was here in England with me, and he was playing the game long before I did, before Dark Souls 1, before all the rest of it, and, you know, he was telling me about it. He was telling me that, you know, when he picked up Dark Souls 3, he felt that the level of scale and difficulty, you know, just on each part, it felt like there was a greater slope, which, you know, I know I didn't take out the flag on that. But I think a lot of people did circumvent that after all. Like, I think it wasn't so much that it wasn't as difficult, that it was more... No, can't believe it stayed. It became too familiar for a lot of people. It was probably the most hotly PvP'd game up until this point anyway. I think a lot of people from DS2 came to DS3. I'm not sure what they made of it, because the content of DS2, whilst it's here, it's not exactly and I think that does show. So, you know, obviously with DS2 there's a large amount of the element of it that was bought from DS1. So, you know, they're not really missing anything. So, because, you know, stuff that's referenced in that game is referenced once again in this. To a greater extent than something I such an idiot. Oh! Oh, my first stupid death. I knew it would come. It's this scaling, this difficulty scaling. It's, I'm probably using the wrong word. I've got the thought in my head, but yeah, it's like the bell curve of where the difficulty lies with this, I think, is it's probably on par with PS2, really. I think. I don't know. Some people might disagree. I think with the DLC and especially Scholar, I mean, I'm really looking forward to that. had it bought in advance for this game, and just sort of as things getting trained up on it, but you know, just in advance of it kicking in, and yeah, in the end I just couldn't wait. I just got the S3 and thought, you know what, screw it, I'll go straight onto it. I think it's the way that they work with these games. I think it's difficult to really call these game sequences. Think about it, it's really, I don't know, like an extrapolated thing really to say that say that these are in any way true sequels to each other. You know, there's elements from each one that link onto the next. As we all know, the time scales in these games just they're not consistent. That's half of what creates majesty. Link, but it's not necessarily what you think. And I kind of get the sense that they almost wanted to include like an element of false history, like you get told something supposed to be one game. The next one comes up and says, hey, you know, from this other character's perspective, this other nation's perspective, things were very different. I mean, it was a big mystery at the start. I've seen this stuff, and you know, putting it down as a famous king, first lost son of winds, it makes a whole lot of sense. It basically said soul in Winset and stuff. And yeah, it's you know, something that I think has a great little element to the game, really. That there is that here. That, you know, that isn't something that's said, and it's something that's hotly debated. I mean, sorry Slayer, I love you and everything, but I mean, I don't think it's a little different about him. Don't get me wrong, I'm a Slayer lover. He's absolutely fantastic. You know, one of my favourite little characters. Sunbro, I could be, but unfortunately, dying sworn, really. I like helping people. It's one of the things I like about this. But, you know, I like the jolly cooperation. That's kind of the element that I like. I'd happily delve into my own little thoughts onto there, but it was always dubious that he'd be this lost son from the start. I mean, there's a clear distinction between humans and lords. You know, not so much in some places. I know there's been a lot of lore analyzers and whatnot, but I think some things a lot of it's lost in translation, and a lot of it comes down to a matter of perspective and really, you know, overthinking some things. I think it's sometimes nice to have that element, you know. I wouldn't I think that's without that. But it's one of those wonderful things whereby, yeah, it does leave that element open to the community, and there are people, party, you know, people like that. You know, they know as much as you do that they've got their own characters, and I think everyone does. thought if, idiot. Wonder if things are actually like this, or things are like that, or what it might actually entail. Not on the script. What the hell was that? Chairs just got back on me. Like I was saying, yeah, there's probably those theories that people have that they've not talked to anyone about, and you know, people would worry that others would judge them for it. There's a lot of people who are pretty much established. Damn this. Did you just spawn me down? And yeah, I know a lot of people hate to break away from the fan cannon, and I can understand that, because, you know, without the fans, probably wouldn't. There's not an awful lot there to tell. It's not saying false history, you know. Things from the early games, and even this game, you know. Wow. So there being one of them. Yeah, you know, he's the lost son of Gwyn. And you know, with everything that was at that point in time canon, it made sense. But things change. I think Miyazaki didn't really like people had come to that conclusion. Probably didn't fit with his idea of it. So I think a lot of the content of Dark Souls 3, from what I can tell, seems to be adding more elements, more layers, but at the same time straightening out a few things that I think I think, you know, as weird as it may sound, Miyazaki watches, he listens, the dev team watches, they listen, I think they know what we write and what we say, you know, how could they not, you know, it's actually exist. I think it's a brilliant thing, that they would take feedback from that, and yeah, you know, let us believe a certain thing, but then change it, because, you know, frankly, a lot of the time, it's, you know, they have an idea in mind for the game. It is their baby at the end of the day. It's what they want, and we are the consumers who are purchasers. So, you know, they listen to us because they want to know what we want, as any big company would. But when it comes to stuff like lore, it's more. It's definitely more a thing for the creator. And I think for story writers and stuff, sorry, hiccups. Something that I think, you know, they would delve deeply into, and they would have their own idea about it, and yeah, you know, like any good writer. As anyone would, they like it when people think come up with these wacky notions. Sometimes. You know, even some of the more out of the way ideas. I mean, there's some confusing bits in there. I mean, don't even get started on the whole Priscilla nonsense, Velvet and all that. A lot of the ideas, especially with parties positioned, understand a little bit more about what I think about even if, it would be a more solid. They are still fan cannon at the end of the day. Hey, you know, I'm not going to be creating a new fan cannon element anytime soon, but let's you know, let's just put it out there. This is my fan cannon. It is what it is. I'll believe it. I genuinely believe so. He's just what he is. He's just who's just far too happy to be in this landscape with these things. He's far too enamoured with the idea of helping other people, and not to say that's a bad thing. I mean, you know, let's face it, we all want to help each other sometimes, especially with the difficulties that lie ahead in these games. But I think because that's such a profound thing, he wants that sun to be real. He wants people to help each other, and I think it's, you know, just a good-natured song, and nothing more. Sunlight, everything that they are, everything that people want to say about them, sun bros. Yeah, it makes sense, you know, worship the name was King, really, because he went and he stood aside from his father. You know, he was willing to make that sacrifice to help a dragon, the enemy. It's wow, how many times do you want to hit me? What? It's not just me, is it? Is this forcing enemies? What was that about? That's so weird. Right, okay. Yeah, I think that element is what they're worshipping, is that sort of want to be corporates and not fight. As far as it is, there's undead, they can never die. No matter how many times they die, they eventually go hollow. Horrible thing. I think, you know, Slayer, you know, he is an undead as well. As is seen, you know, in Sunlight Record. That whole thing, if you can't save him, if you can't show him that incandescent star that he wants, that sun, and that's, you know, it's what drives them. It's like Covenant, it's wanting to be able to help, to know that you're not, well, if I really come to so soon. Probably spam that too much. I'll need to learn to start using this Estus, I think. But yeah, I think it's something that Slayer in particular, being a knight, you know, that's something that traditionally a knight would be someone of, you know, someone that the public and could look to as, yeah, a champion, savior, whatever. Not only in combat sense. It's a beacon of moral stance. It's his want to pass on this idealism that they don't have to live this dark, forbidding hell, really, alone. as many of them seem to. There are very few NPCs that you ever meet in Demon Souls here that seem to have any direct connection with each other, any want to spend any time in each other's company, anything like that. The little times that they do, they are all mostly related, really. I think places like why there's a lot of untrustworthy people and those who, no, they're not happy to see it. I think the one thing that's said most correctly in these games is, whilst there are sin, of people, really. I mean, that's fine, sure. But that's looked upon as a vile thing, you know, a thing to be scorned. And I think that even carries over to the undead themselves, you know, they aren't concerned really with linking up with others and, you know, forming friendships per se. They take that's useful, and I mean, even to go as far as what happens with the Way of Blue, the Way of White. Covenants that seem to it's all in effort of something else in the end, I think. For instance, whenever you see anything regarding the Dark Moons or the Blue Sentinels, that's duty. That's not wanting to help them. It's an ancient accord. Now, an accord is a necessity. It's a contract, a signature or something. It's not something that they freely go into of their own will. You know, they don't want to help these people, but they're forbidden to. It's why when you have it equipped, you know, you don't choose to help people, you are summoned. If you are a Blade of the Dark Moon, there is no choice. You must help people. It's like, to carry it over, I mean, the three spirits of Dark Souls 1 are spirits of vengeance, and they are those that would attack those who would attack others. An eye for an eye, essentially. It's put together by Gwendolyn, obviously, who... It's an odd element that would have Gwendolyn wanting to be anything nobody's helped him his entire life. I'm not sure why deformity got snakes. Last time I checked snakes for life, but let's but you know, he is one of the lords or the gods or whatever you want to call them, and they go by different rules, or they may be different. They are not us, and I think that's also prevalent element that the Dark Soul is something that's directly linked to humans. It is humanity, and inescapable one at that. It's pretty much referenced that, I mean, Dark Souls 1 gave it more of an idea of what was happening. Dark Souls 3, this whole time convergence and this whole understanding of where everything is at one time. There is no sense of the world outside the world you're in. But in Dark Souls, it was understood that the asylum, it was the north. It was not anywhere. It was outside of it. And time only converged and things became murky once you were in Lordran. Whereas Dark Souls 3, it's everywhere really, unless there's something to indicate that where you fight Codex, where you find the Firekeeper, with that, all in the same continuity. You know, it's not said. Described. It is what it is. What was it to heal in this game? Jesus. This is going to annoy me. Well, I'm fine to have aggro yeah, I mean, that would be... apologies, right? It's like 11 habaneros of something I'm going to have to eat now. But yeah, it's... I don't know. Call me an ambition. I mean... the timeline in this game is... anyone could tell you is just crazy. Just outright crazy. I mean... it's one of those things, I guess. But, yeah. It's not especially something that bothers me, because it's, and that's fine. Next time we run by that, we run by everything on the way. That should be fun. But yeah, it's an element of intrigue, at least for this game. But there is, you know, there is no outside world. There is no realm of humans. This, I mean, in anything, really. It never really tells you what kind of effect. I mean, I just always assumed that without linking the fire, you know, so for instance, Guinevere and making Anolondo go dark, that kind of thing, getting rid of the sun that was only bound to the world of Lordran or wherever the undead resided at that time. I mean, if that happened for the entire world at that point, which is indicated, I mean, it's something that... and, yeah, you know, it does save the world at large. For a lot of things, really. And, I think it's probably something to think about, like, what is actually happening? In the realm of humans, like, what about the rest of them, you know? I know that sounds silly, and probably I think Rayrat probably says it. Who, yes, I will be going to grab in a second, probably after the ball. Yeah, I think if Rayrat says this, but like everyone's dead or hollow. Every human who could have died has died. You know, the time has passed to that extent. And everyone who didn't die or wasn't human is now, you know, is a hollow who isn't Ash. I think Dark Souls 3 is taking it to that point that, you know, after everyone's hollow is left. He never stood a chance of making the fire in the first place, whether that be humans, who knows. I mean, it's an interesting stylistic choice to have everything the way it is, because in your inventory, it's right there, the dark side. But from playing the other Souls games, you know that those branded with the dark side are cursed. They all are. And they are undead. In whatever shape or form that may be. We're clearly undead, you know. We come back every time at the fire. The fire is what draws us back. As the dark sign, you know, the rest of fire and that kind of thing. Clearly used but this time, because you don't stand a chance of thinking of it, you then... What? The thing that caused you to follow in the first place was losing your humanity, which isn't an issue in this game because there is no humanity. Whether that's something that's put there on purpose, I don't know. It's still another question. It's possible he's already answered this. I can't say I've watched every single video everyone's done. I think there's a lot of people out there now, not just I've seen a couple of videos popping up people that are interesting and might want to check out. I think YouTube is just a big thing, and I don't think that I'll be giving up anytime soon. I don't think anyone will. It's just an interesting element, how there is humanity. People you see, like this. I seem to be on the face at the moment. But yeah, these are the ones that have lost their humanity. That's what makes them go. And Londor is a land of horrors. It's a previously out it's all in there. Is it doing? Yeah, you know, is there no humanity left? I mean, Yuria under there, is she just as hollowed and withered out? I mean, has anyone unclothed Yuria? I know that sounds odd, but, you know, has anyone seen her face, what she looks like? I mean, these pilgrims, they're another element that's pretty great. They beg for death. Look, they break the curse of undeath. You know, they are without humanity. It doesn't mean they're without a soul. It's such an odd little element. I find confusing. Like, I'm probably not vocalising myself enough at the moment because I'm playing, but it's curious to me how we can beat Ash, and you know, we have got this dark sign, but we don't hollow, which goes against Dark Souls 1, at least as far as I can tell. This whole no locking thing, I thought I'd get used to it, but still getting I'm probably just being a bit too brash as well. Yeah. But then, as soon as we receive this dark sigil, it's a hole which says that I can't remember if it says humanity or the abyss falls through, but we know that humanity and the abyss are basically one and the same. And we know that the abyss plays a big part in this. Obviously the deeper into the deep, I'm pretty certain that, although it's not mentioned directly, that the deep is the abyss, or I mean, it's where the dregs
No
go down.
shipping, but not. Please, I'll be sure to
what's
repay
left?
you in kind.
You know, I get this.
I may be a petty thief.
Double tap X. It's just PS4 things.
Very well, I do you.
Yeah, it's this no ring. It isn't, I'm afraid. Sorry, chap. I'll be putting that in the box after B box. B box. But yeah, like sigil given to us when we unlock the power. I mean, we can kindle the fire regardless without that dark sigil. And what seemed to be the case with the fire sigil and with everything before was humanity was what was fueling the fire to make it go further. Now, not to say that obviously you can't when the power of his already, he's got the primary life of his fight, he fueled it with himself, which, you know, that is it's a big element. It shows the strength of the Lord Soul by comparison to that of just a regular human, and, you know, whilst that shows that as what it is, it seems to be specifically humanity as the thing that we were fueling the fire. It was fueling the fire itself. When you kindle the fire, now, unkindled, does that have anything to do? I know that's stretching it, this whole fan thing, but unkindled, you know, you can't kindle the fire, you can't light it, so you can't kindle the first flame because you have no humanity, which is why you which, then again, at the same point, the humans are only typified by the point that they actually have the dark soul, which is, you know, the game basically. We are the dark souls, but we're no longer humans. I mean, it poses a lot of questions. Probably nobody else will. And it will be to, you know, I'm not saying it's keeping it up at night, but it's it is something that brings me consternation with this, because I know it's not looking at it apparently. Well, let's just pull this. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. But yeah, you know, I think it's worth mentioning basically that we don't have humanity for a reason. It must be for a reason. You know, it just seems this whole business of ash and kindle like that. It seems to be, but the purpose I found from it previously is lost, because, you know, you can go the entire game without getting the dark sigil. So you're not linking it with humanity. That seems to be the point. Maybe you're so replete with humanity that it can't be lost. I guess that does pose the question of, sure, if there is a humanity in the world, and those that lose it, it seems to be a physical item of sorts. It has to go somewhere, I guess. It can't just disappear. I mean, I know it's a game mechanic, let's face it. You know, I'm not trying to sugarcoat this. It is what it is. But, yeah, you know, it's something. Whatever it may be. I'm not going to worry about this item for the dragon. I'm not too fussed about them. I am fussed about lobby. Now, this is probably overkill. Like I say, I could have run to the boss, could have done this already, but you know what? I want to give you a show. everything if I can. So far, I've lost Great Shield and Spear has been my biggest nemesis, and will probably continue to be. And you know what, if I don't beat him, I will attempt to after whilst I've got to worry about doing such a thing. Yeah, I'll be sure to try and defeat everything. So how did you find the first one? It's this guy. Whatever his problem is. Yeah. Sorry. Try and why? Just being such a dumbass. Right. Okay, I wasn't supposed to do that. It's fine. Well, bugger. But it's not, you know, it's not something that breaks the game. It's got a lot of the same things. I mean, this being the way it ends, at least, it's got that element of whatever it is. Thing. It can be any of them, so some sort of, I'm sure there's some sort of weird Doctor Who element with that or something, you know, every option is an option, blah blah blah, yada yada, but oh look, but yeah, you know, it's, I don't know, the endings that I think make it feel like the final episode, if you know what I mean. Like the Lord of Hollows, for instance. I'm sure I understand what that is in principle. I guess, you know, Hollows want to use the first flame to restore humanity. If that's where all the humanity's gone, make Gondor whole again. I mean, you know, there's like 101 different things. It could be, for sure, and I'm sure you will, and, you know, something to think about. But Gondor, the amount of the next to this. dark grey and such. It's got a new Londo, obviously, because I think whilst the dark greys that you see aren't those that are directly linked to anything like that. Europe, for instance. Things, the normal have from Londoids. Typical of that type of sorcerer type thing. Pilgrims? Again, not too sure. I think that new element of this game that I'm not 100% on what it actually means. Especially when it comes to the reigns of, I mean, it was who found it out, probably, I don't know, that's just some light or one of the major streamers, or YouTubers, whatever, that, pilgrim butterflies. Curious. Very curious. How do dogs get toys? Must I? You know what? Screw this place. Yeah. It's like, no. I'm probably going to change techniques up. I'm considering blocking the attacks of the dogs so that I can then follow it up. Even, what in the God's hell are you attacking? Yeah, I mean, they were some kind of water. It's a long done deal. Unless, this whole time dilation thing. Londo, is that what they called New Londo before New Londo? I know. Think about that. There was nothing left. There were ghosts and dark raids, and it was sunken. I know that in DS1 we released it. We drained it with the 4 kings. That was already done. Yeah, everything that could that did. Left with, to repopulate it. Is that supposed to be this notorious Sable Church that Yuri is supposed to have descended from? So there's a lot of hints being dropped. A lot of other elements. The amount of expansion that can be pulled on. I don't know if this is something they're going to address in DLC, just the innumerable holes that again, like I've said, it's something I'm enjoying. And sometimes you just can't draw a conclusion on something that's not there. I hate to say it, but it's just not enough. Maybe there's something. Waiting to see what's said next, because there's harks it back to that Japanese element of this game that I was mentioning before. This is such a typical, very well defined. You're like, of course you didn't. It started. So, yeah, just shut up. You know, you actually look like you're coming through it there, buddy. Yeah, quite alright. Can I get you something? One blanket, towel, fibre. Fibre? You go to hell and use it. He's got no Ash and Estus. Oh no Estus. He's got like no life. Yep, that's pretty much the case. Like I say, my name's fight is death. Actually, hit by that. Again, hitboxes, another thing, probably I will address at some point. But not so much of an issue. Lee went straight through. But I've killed that guy before, so I might go back for the souls, I might not. I might just... I don't know. We'll see. I think if I'm ready for, I'll probably just backtrack through the area before I head back to filing. Kill a few enemies and hope for the best. Souls may become an issue in this as well. But I'll probably just be saving soul items, because I mean, the only thing I'm going to be needing them for is whatever items are left, if I want something that just purely play through and, you know, some stuff. Hi, doing a little dance. Yeah, and you know, stuff like that. Like I say, it's being a soul level 1, I mentioned it earlier in the stream. Because screw it, it's fair, why not? I was considering obviously deprive, because soul level 1 itself, but no, if there's a way to reduce soul level, and doing stupid shit after all for your entertainment, why not? Let's make it entertaining. You know, when it comes to reallocating attributes, I might do that. Let's face it, it's not leveling up, it's just taking crap off of stuff that I don't need, like luck or whatever. You know, really rough. No. Not with a soul level 1. Yeah, I did for a proper built up character, you know, go throw luck on there. I've tried it, you know, the whole lead, luck, hollow thing. I like it, you know, it's a nice little element. It's, I think something new to the game, and I like it. I think it's, very much, very nice new development. Well, how do you do so? But it doesn't, it's not instead it's currently there. It's not, yeah, you know, it's overpowered or something, it's not overpowered. In fact, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to use that. I think it's a great weapon, love it. 10 things. Oh, I've got 13 luck, that's insane. Well, another thing to reallocate. If and when I get there. Cathedral be damned. I reach kill. Can do that top down glitch as well. Why not? I wonder if they fixed it. I don't know. If anyone knows anything. Well. Just a faint. I wonder if this is far enough. Is it? Backstabs with no lock on. Yay! Oh god. Don't bring your friend, it's not worth it. There's me, USA. I'll let you supposed to do it. How about I don't? And that's the end of that.
I am allowed. You will. They have to their head for John. This, it is the, if you feel them etched and the old conch.
I can't actually look at this woman anymore without, like, going, damn, really, you got the prince and let him suckle on you? I mean, he's not right, you know? He's very not right. That's probably why he's so messed up, doesn't want to link the fight. It's like, yeah, I had to suck on some old bag from dudes. Not to be stupid about it, but Christ. Yeah, like, really? That's a thing that they put in the description. Nice face, dude. Okay, I know it's been a while now, so I'll start actually taking it seriously. Let's do Vault, shall we? At this stage, I'm not too good. I should be keeping more than I see a lot of mistakes. My argument is, like, I don't do this for a job. I have a job. So, screw it. You know, I know there's terrible attitudes out. I'm probably never go into the business of having this as a job, but you know what? Screw it. I just thought I'd show some people me having way more pain than I should have. And yet, I'm not raging just yet, because I know what's to come. Because I know that I'm making mistakes, and I know that I'm still learning. So, I can keep my cool about this. I rage is what coming to the point where I start thinking of them like that. I'm not saying anything, but you all know what's going to be happening. Fight or something. Like, ah yes, I've managed to take off half his health without using the storm ruler. I make like one slip up. That's it, it's okay. I'm gonna need a stock of controls. That'll be a weekend job, I think. I'm gonna be trying to do everything as legit as possible with that, but you know, it is what it is. Whenever I can, and you guys. there's proof of it all as and when. Up until that point, I think you just get to sit back and watch a man do something that nobody should ever really want to do. No, that's what I'm going to do myself. Am I going to get the armor as well? I run through as a deserter. Yeah, that's better. It is curious as well, this whole cleric thing and that like, link to the pilgrims. I mean, is that like a... Is that a thing? Is that something? I don't know. Here we go. I've kept you all waiting far too long. Far too long. So, here we are. Here is the vault fight. Don't worry, Steve Harris. We've got this. We'll take your ginger beard and we'll shove it up Vault's ass. Ginger stub at least. I'm watching this. I know how much it's going to kick my ass actually. Good chance to look at it. You make only £100. That'll be £1 I walk out. Then you'll be sorry. That was an unexpected early death, but that's fine. It's all good. I think my main thing with him is going to be the standard. And yes, I'm just going to run through this. Again, not bothering about size, because, you know, levels and shit. Not worth it. Love it. Over the top. I think I did some poison it very well actually. Especially if it's variable poise based on stars. Like, I know that's probably a lot for them to code in, but it's like, okay, you're poisoned to poise, but only if you can make use of your armor and your weapons. If it's physically possible. Say, like, the point of poise, like, the reasoning is what it actually does. And what it's supposed to be referencing as a mechanic is, you know, don't stop because you have the protection to avoid it. But however, you know, I'm not saying that this is going to have any real world connotations, but yeah, like, things that, I don't know why I wasn't doing this on. One of the things that I find that poise should be indicative of is, you know, you saw it there when I was hitting the shields. It shifts in the back. You hit people off the back. thing. Yeah, it was you know, before that point, your enemy, you know, they're tanked up, they're well into their sort of protection zone. You know, they've got their armor, they've got their defense. They, you know, they take just, you know, very little damage up to that stagger point because, you know, they're guarding against your attacks. They're actively attempting to prevent you damaging them, which, you know, is a normal thing. I think, obviously, it's a turn-based RPG. It doesn't translate all that well to something like this, which is, you know, a very typical action RPG sort of thing. But I think the element of that does have something that could be brought along to toys. It's like, the toys should be, because, I mean, whilst I might equip armor and stuff on this, I'm quite aware that it's there's not a lot valid reason why you get an armor. It's not like, you know, you know, where happens, you know, you basically can't be killed or something. I know it doesn't work like that. But, yeah, I mean, you know, let's face it, you're clothed in pure stone that's, like, clearly at least an inch or two thick. It's like, yeah, really is anything getting through. I mean, the fact that you can move is a freaking miracle. You know, show me a sword that can stab through what is clearly, like, you know, slabs of rock laid over the top of like a light chainmail or something. You know, I'd like to see the weapon that can get through that. I'll be honest. I'm sure it exists, but you know, we're talking to some like diamond edge thing there. And when things in this game hit you with, oh look, I'm gonna smack you a couple of times on a broken sword, you know. I mean, boys should function more like they're hitting a wall. They don't. For instance, something that would, be, you know, something that balances like a dart sword or a light tricky weapon. But, yeah, okay, you do the just doing fuck all. But yeah, you know, they're hitting a wall. Pure and simple. They're bouncing off. They're doing that. What they should do is break them instead of actually doing damage. You know, this game's prevalence of like, ooh, you know, I cut behind you, therefore I got a magical backstab. Whilst in principle and as a game mechanic it works, you know, it's something that works as much for you as it works against you. it's a way to, you know, get around certain things and, you know, pretty heavily, let's face it, embarrass another player. Because, you know, if you've left yourself open enough for that time, well out, you know you're not, or that there's some definite wizardry at work, at least anyway, if not. But, you know, it's something I think is only represented, what, with the shields on this, which, I don't know, it'd be nice to see, like, you're wearing like, only armour on your back, for instance, or, you know, your midsection, so therefore your hit zones, obviously when everything hits you, it hits you within a hitbox, you know, that's quite nice. It would be nice to see that translated onto the player character. Barry would not be an instance of, okay, we got you, it's more a I mean, you know, we've all had it plenty of times. I'm going to be running to make peace with myself because I'm on low health, so I'm going to have to just ignore that. But it is. It's fine. As everyone knows, soul level 1 playthroughs anyway, they're always grueling. I mean, obviously I know this isn't soul level 1 per se, but it's just what I'm doing. Not like it's very easy way of putting it. Non-leveling. So you are very long ways. This is what you've got, this is what you're given, this is what you get. What you make use of once you're there is your ankle. So, should stop being a dumbass and actually use the ladder. Well, I'm an idiot. But you know, idiots win sometimes. I can already hear your tired voices at the moment. I'm quite aware of that. I apologise, I think I have to rename this if I do it. Next one. The heads-up display thing that I mentioned before isn't the thing that I thought it would be. The game's too forgiving in that sense. I actually wanted it gone completely. To have sort of a immersive experience, you know. Get rid of everything on the screen that isn't just you. Taking it to that next level of... I know that push myself towards this. So, videos. Have that. Yeah, Yep. I knew it would come to this. Benefit of being a YouTuber at this point would be being able to skip through this for all of you, and just so you see the actual fight itself, rather than seeing me being a complete dumbass the entire time. Going from the worst bonfire to go from. Oh, and this. I kind of needed that there. Done it wrong in the first place. Wasting this death will get the Estus back. I think I will be looking at weapon degradation as an issue soon. Just check. No. Yeah. Okay. Stupid. Automatically fix. Right, I think in later stages at least, weapon degradation was an issue. I wanted to see that become more of a thing. It's not really a thing at the moment. Yeah, I understand it as a mechanic, but it's a relatively mild inconvenience. Pretty much, you can clear any given area without really ever having to concentrate. When's the last time you have to worry about your weapon breaks? Anyone? No? That's a lot of fun. It's fine. I could do 4 this many Estus. It has and can be done. Yeah, that's right, you go home. Right. Now I know I shouldn't be struggling before this much. Again, I'm feeling it's this, getting used to the lack of lock-on. Down, boy. kill a guy enough times and then it's like, suddenly he's a giant again. It's nice, it's refreshing, but if it weren't the same guy, it'd be less of a chore. You can't feel that? Stop. You go to hell and you die. We should use firebombs then. Huh. If Force did anything, I'd use that, but that's... yeah, that's just more for me. Attempt number like 7 or something. Oh man, he's at the first boss. Oh no, he's at it. Only took me like all the time there is, but that is the first boss destroyed on giant mode, as I shall be calling it from here on. And yeah, I'll probably be wrapping up the stream shortly, but I want to get my kick. No, just want to pop back up here. See if I can. Still want to see these guys. I'd like the dessert set. I think that would play through quite nicely, but you know, we can't all have what we want. I'd like it if we did get it. So I'll see. This be playing something. Right, now I get to do the wonderful thing I've been wanting to do since I started this, of the only bonfire that I will be able to use, as previously described, the boss bonfires. So these are the only times I'm going to be visiting the Firelink Shrine quickly. And we'll see how we get on. Now, like I mentioned, my main thing is going to be that Grey Rat. I'll be upgrading this weapon.
Ah, just what neat.
Firstly, No, I mean, I don't think that there's... Actually, you know what?
Pretty me, I don't want that.
Let's see. 'Cause, you know,
Oh,
I'm not
and
supposed to use
what
any
is
other
the-
weapon. This is a good weapon. I have
Do
no qualms about using this whatsoever, but if there's anything else I can use, it must be quite handy. I mean, the one thing that's holding me back that I know is going to be an issue until later game is going to be at the just pitiful dexterity. Now, I know... Where are we? There we are. So yeah, so I know that, well, obviously I'm not using shields, so I don't need to worry about that, but crossbows will be my go-to item for long range. I'm just not
goodbye.
dexterity.
Oh, this.
Although I'm not going to be too concerned.
Ah, tis good, wasn't he?
Long range is not really going to be an option in this. So yeah, that's my limitation in that sense. I don't think anything requires repair. Obviously, if anything breaks, I'll bring it back to Andre. But I think mace is how I started, and mace is how I'll carry on. So I'm going to reinforce this as much as I can. And make another 3 time to do it.
Pretty me, I don't.
Which, had I thought ahead, I would have sorted out prior to this, but
Have
I'm not that smart. So, not getting the soapstone because I'm not summoning in for anyone on this. You'll be seeing everything that I do. I may consider purchasing some chain armor, however, as gives reasonable protection. Although it is the noob category item, I mean, let's face it, we've all played Dark Souls 1 hopefully. If not, go play it now, or I won't ever speak to
Ashen
you.
one.
Just kidding. But yeah, it's, I don't know, it's Cleric Robe. I gotta say, the element of resistance is, you know, can't fault them. I think that's the one thing that's selling them to me. But let's see what we've got for Souls 312.
Oh, and in one.
What I need to pick them up as options, because I think that's going to be important, having options. So, yeah, I've got that. So yeah, that's going to cost me a fair bit, but I think, like I say, I'll pick this up as an option. Quite weighty, so it might not be something hugely viable, but it's something.
Goodbye. Oh, this.
And yeah, no, that is absolutely fine. So, and obviously for times of high resistance requirement, I'll switch it out. Right, so. Last thing I will use the Bonfire in this instance is just to organise the storage box before heading back. Storing that Estus shard. Because, like I say, you know that there's one up in the rafters. If anyone doubts me or wants to see, I can just pan the camera up and show them. I'll be storing that boss soul for now, because the only time I'm going to be transmuting is when I come back here. Right, let's see. Storing any weapons that I can't use, because, well, I can't use them. Pretty simple. And I'll store additional steel helms. And yeah, no rings either, so this is what we've got. Now I'll equip the Wave Blue, because whilst I won't be summoning in for anyone, people are bound to invade me. And mate, I'd like to see a few other people, just see what I'm working with. And, you know, challenge me somewhat.
What a start.
Just before I finish the stream for the evening, I'm just going speak to.
And then these.
Here.
Use them to. What else?
His lovely eyes. And just so you know that I'm not using Bonfire, I will be heading back to Vort. And I will end it here. So, for any of you who have joined me, thank you very much for it. I apologise for my suck and fail, and whilst I've not raged quite as hard as I could on this occasion, I think you'll see more than enough rage to come. Curse Road Greatwood is a particular nemesis of mine, so I look forward to slamming that one down on the next episode. As I'm sure you're all aware, it will probably be as long as this one, if not longer. I'll just finish it with a nice ending shot of descending down to the ended settlement, because you know it's where I really want to go. Yeah, there's my pathetic Mr. Steve Harris, and as I will continue to say, I am going to suck and fail at this until I succeed. So thank you ever so much. Just let these gargoyles sing me up.